Just like the wide-winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Just like the wide-winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, baby, ooh, say ooh. And the days go by like a strand in the wind, in the web that is my own. I begin again. Say to my friend, baby.
Hey everybody, Football Protocol. Today's video is a video about something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I've just been putting it on the back burner. And I figured, since I got a few days off, and I'm going to take advantage of that, so I'm going to do an inside job since it's so damn hot outside. What I want to do is change out all the hardware on these doors. As you can see, this has all been, let's see if I get some light on it. You can see this has all been painted over, and it just doesn't look sharp or crisp or anything. And I'm going to take off the knobs, and these are the old type skeleton key locks on this, and I'm gonna reuse all that, but I'm gonna refurbish it and make it look new again. Also with these catches, take all this off, and I'm gonna. This is a real pain in the butt to do because of the paint on it, and the biggest pain in the butt is that. Let's see if you can see this. See the straight screws. See how the paint and everything is in it. It's really hard to get out, but I'll show you a little trick that I've been using, and it's been working fine. And maybe you guys can comment on this, but by that time I'll be finished. But let me show you what I do to get this stuff off here. Let me say one other thing. First thing I do is I take these pins out. You can take a screwdriver, and this pin will come straight out on the top and on the bottom. And that way you can take the door completely off. Then you can work on getting the hinges off here. Then you take it and set it on the ground where you can put some pressure on this and get this off. The whole thing too is being able to get yourself to where you can put pressure on this. And what I usually do is I'll put my back up against this, and that way I can push up against the back of this with my impact to get it off. So let's. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. I'm going to take one of these, half the hinge off on a door I've already gotten off, and I'll show you where I've already taken this hinge off. Another trick is, I'm doing this all backwards, but another trick is before you even attempt to take this off, see how that paint's all in there? You want to take a razor knife and cut right around there, nice and neat. That way it won't peel any of your paint off when this does come off. As you can see, they came off pretty good here. I'll have to do some touch-up paint. That's from painting when the hinges were on. That's why it looks so sloppy. That'll all be touched up. All right, the tools I use for this job is a 1/4 inch cordless DeWalt impact. This thing is the trick right here. It actually impacts that screw. When you take it off, if you use your regular drill or do it by hand, it is extremely hard. This will hit it and loosen that screw up at the same time, and it's been pulling them right out. Also, I use this awl and a razor knife. Let me kind of show you what my little technique is. These can be a real pain in the ass, but what I do is I'll just try to get right along that edge. Take that razor knife and cut the paint. If you don't, it's when you go to take this off, it's going to peel that paint right off and make it look like crap. So you want to make sure that all that paint is cut. So try to do as good of the job as you can. Anyhow, that looks pretty good. And I'll take that all and I'll clean them slots out. That's the main thing. You don't want to start stripping this right off the bat. That's not going to hurt anything. I've got new hinges I'm going to put on it. You know, if you don't want to spend the money to put new hinges on it, you can actually get some, buy some of that paint remover and just paint these things up. And I'm pretty sure they're brass. But I've got some dark colored ones I'm going to put on it. And we're going to go from there. Then I'll just take my impact, make sure that that thing's seated, and put a lot of pressure on it. Did you hear that thing hitting? That's the impact part of it. That's the trick. You want to make sure you got a lot of downforce on this thing, because if you strip one of these out, you're going to be pretty much screwed. You're going to have to take a grinder to it, and it's going to take you quite a while. But like I said, this impact is the trick to the whole thing. Then I'll just take a hammer. That's all there is to it. We'll clean all this up. And what you can do too at the hardware store, once you get one of these off, you can take it down and you can match it up with the new ones. And these are an exact fit, so it's going to work out real well. Anyhow, I've got a lot more to do to these. This is just the hinge part. I've got to take the knobs off and the rosettes that are behind the knobs, and the whole locking device. I've already got one of the locking devices out. Let's see if I can. Sorry about that. This is the old, excuse me, it's the old skeleton key type. And this house was built back in the 30s. But as you can see, that thing it's either seized up by rust, but I think this thing is brass, or the paint's got down into the slot. And what I'm going to do to this, I'm going to put some paint remover on the faces of this, and I'm going to get it looking like brand new. And what I want to do is, since I've got the dark hinges also, I'm going to take and sand these just a little bit, and I'm going to paint them black. And all my hardware is going to be in the black color with the white doors, so that should make it look good. Anyhow, got a lot of work to do, and I'll get back with you. Well, we tried sanding these doors down, and it was gumming up our sander so bad that we decided to go ahead and do a couple coats of stripping on it, and then we're going to sand it. We tried one and it worked out pretty well, but you can see he just put that on there and it's starting to take it off. It makes a hell of a mess, but we don't know what else to do with it. All these knobs are the old type knobs with the shaft. It's got a set screw on them, and what I did was I sanded on them, roughed them all up, then hit them with steel wool to get that down to a little bit finer rough up, and put some epoxy primer and epoxy paint on it. It's probably got two coats on it, maybe 3. And bought all new screws. All the screws that came out of the originals were straight slotted, and I tell you what a pain in the ass that was. But these are the new screws. They're different sizes. There was 3 different sizes, and went with the Phillips, and we went ahead and shot them with the paint too. And let me show you, this shop is a mess too. These are all the skeleton keys, holes, individual ones. What we did is the same. What I did with all the hardware, that was everything's brass, and we scuffed them all up and shot them with epoxy primer and epoxy enamel on top of it. It's got 2 coats of it, and I think it's gonna be fine. We'll see. And the same with the rosettes. And these are the old locks with the skeleton key, your insets. And we did the same thing. We buffed them up, sanded them all up, and painted the faces of them. I didn't want to paint the set because it would be sticking inside there, but yeah, it's going to look great with the white doors. But I tell you what, man, I would never ever do that again. And if I was to come to your house and do it, you couldn't afford me. I'm telling you, to do it right. That's stripping that stuff all the way completely down, and putting 3 coats of paint on each door. What a pain. Anyhow, I'm gonna wait for some of this stuff to cure, and I'll be back, and I'll show you the finished doors. Okay, finally finished up this door project. I've got, I say, 45 hours in it, and I hired one of my neighbors to help me out on the stripping part, and he has about 32 hours. It was a lot of work, a whole lot of work, but they came out really, really nice. Couldn't be happier with them. You know, all this was all paint was kind of smeared around it. These were all painted. These are all brand new hinges, and what I did was reworked this hardware, but it came out really nice. I'm letting the doors cure, the paint cure on them before I close them all the way, because I don't want them to stick. But yeah, it's a lot of work. I don't think I would ever do it again. I say that. I've been wanting to do this ever since I bought the house. But they came out really, really nice. Like I said, the stripping part, you know, that stripping part really, really sucks, man. It really, really sucks. Got a little hickey right there. Have to fix that, feather it out, repaint that. But it just looks a lot cleaner. A lot cleaner. You know, the black hinges and the black hardware with the white doors. I mean, it's well worth it. It's well worth it. Anyhow, I thought you guys might want to see what I've been up to for the last, friggin' 2 weeks off and on. But, yeah, it just a lot cleaner looking. Anyhow, y'all take care. Hope everybody's safe after the hurricanes.
Money.